Alright everybody, tonight we'd like to report some very interesting news that's going on here. Now let's take a look at this background, which obviously I should be fitting directly on, but he's not doing that tonight. He's tired, doesn't feel like messing with it, but okay. This is how we're intending to load all of our all the Petpets that we have. This was the area that was built later to allow you to change the species of your pet. One of the big changes that we're going to try making, instead of trying to do like Petpet Trek Rebuild and redo the entire front end just to select a character and never use it again, is use this. Originally, these things would have had a little floating bottle that goes up and down, and all you have to do is literally take a simple little icon of all 9 species and load it in this little area here. It'll pop up in here. There'll be a little directory below. You can select them. Like if I wanted to be the other species, I'd select the bottle. It closes the curtain. I become that species. This is how the reason we want to do it this way is there's a certain way we want to rebuild our game that, well, I'm sure our competitor's going to disagree with. See, keep in mind, we are not, I don't even know what we want to finish is going to be called a game. I would call it a simulator, because here's the thing. Now let's say we claw this file set out of them somehow and get it. Our Neopets gives us the 2014 set. Here's the thing. We have no desire to make new objects, so we don't have any. There's a lot of things that we don't have to rebuild at all. The storefronts. Here's the thing with storefronts. Yes, it would be cool to rebuild them, but there's 24 of them, and they'd have to be rebuilt every month to load all these objects. And to me, that seems like a lot of hassle for not a lot of reward, especially for a game we're trying to preserve in time. So my thought was, why can't I just stick all the things in your clothing closet and be done with it? Think about it. Are you going to want to play a game online for a year with a bunch of toxic assholes just for the sheer sake of examining what your pet formerly looked like? I don't. I think it'd be kind of fun to be able to load the maps. Let's say, I remember this cute jacket. I don't know if it's in the game or not, or if it was preserved. You can go in our game, open it up, go through the closet. Oh, look, there's that jacket I used to have. How cool. Click it, put it on your pet, and be done. It might take them 10 years to go through all them assets to be able to load them in 3D, even in 2D, because, let's face it, the only way they're going to get all these assets in Unity is to have to do, JPXS, export as SVGs, then have to bring them in, fit them to the pet model at least, the base one. And there is a universal pet model for all of these. And then basically do that one at a time for tens of thousands of objects. I wouldn't have to do any of that. Why? Mine already load for the most part, except for a few early beta stuff. We get some weird errors, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to cry in tears at something that was made in 2009 doesn't fit something made in 2014 without some alteration. That's kind of par for the course of something that has such a long history. Now here's the other part you got to be careful of with this game. There is no chance of you being harassed online in this game, because we're not going to do online. I'm sorry, we just won't. I don't know how many people, when I initially in 2014-15 got started in this, told me some very disturbing things that made me go, absolutely no chance in living hell am I bringing an online chat in this game. I've had at least 3 people tell me, oh, it is so great to get the old fursuit out again. I'm going, am I really going to go put this thing online if you're an app and I haven't even done anything yet? Now, as we know, this game has a high furry population, and I'm not trying to knock the furry population in general, but that's a little scary to have someone tell you when you just don't even have assets together. Now, as we know, there's definitely a furry population here because I cannot put the photo here, but I'll just say when I ripped the items from Petpet Trek Rebuild server, um, a certain member of the group definitely has a fursuit, definitely goes to cons, and they don't seem like they're causing any problems. But I just don't want to take the risk. I don't want to be socially responsible for anything issues. We have Neo Truth's history of harassing young women, and then we have a couple other reasons. But here's the big one. I have been sitting at this thing since the start. Petpet Trek Rebuild has it, and there's some things I'm going to say here that are probably going to piss some people off. I don't really care. Okay? I don't really give a shit what you think of me. You already think I'm the Joker anyway, so I might as well live the part. Well, here it is. When they discovered the set in 2022, we were also in talks with Flashpoint. And here's the way that Neotruths literally described what he had to them versus what they were getting. It tells me there's something seriously fucked up in his thinking. It makes me not want to have to deal with this guy. What is that thinking? Okay, at the time, Flashpoint was restoring many Neopets games. The person I will leave unnamed, yes, I will give you that honor, it would ask them for rips of the Neopets server for restoring Neopets games, never touched a piece of users' data, absolutely didn't want to do so, and I commend them for that. He asked them specifically, do you have any more park content? Told flat to his face, I do not. And then at the same exact time was handing Petpet Park Rebuild, complete with chat Discord logs showing the transfer, an entire server rip stolen right off of their server. The only reason that he knew about it was afterwards, about their 2022 update, they decided they were going to show off these assets. But at the same time, and now this basically causes a huge amount of mistrust, because here's the thing. Flashpoint did not even want to touch the MMO portion of this game. So there would have been some definite alternatives that could have been done that would have satisfied both parties. And he didn't do it. Okay, the games sit in their own folder. They do have no user interactivity. They would have done me no benefit. Keep in mind, if you ask Petpet Rebuild, do we have any fucking interest in games? You know what they're going to tell you? We do not. Yet they still refuse to release them to Flashpoint, which is the only hope they have for getting many of them working. And I won't say the specific technical detail why I have a strong belief this is the only possible way these games will get saved, because if I did, I'm sure our little scummy friend would cut their tools out of the way that might help them get the files. So I don't want to do that, but I'll just say that every possible problem they've been having trying to load their little cache up, I think Flashpoint's found the solution for it until stuck a middle finger in their face, said, you don't give them to us, we ain't giving you the solution. And if you think I'm stubborn and a bitch to deal with, try them. See what happens. They have more patience than I do, and well, that's great to hear from them, because they have, I think, at least 2 people that can restore these games, have them up. And here's the fun part. You know how they want to put them in their game rebuilt? Wouldn't it be a hell of a lot easier having a working game to rebuild from? Because even when they did show Neaterball on their game, that was a Flashpoint demo game that was found to be a server development copy, meaning it was not even coded to the Neopets engine. And I will not describe how that works, okay? That is something that the person in Flashpoint spent a hell of a lot of time figuring out, and I respect their ability to do so. This is absolutely why I hope these 2 can get together and bash their freaking differences out. Because here's the thing. I don't care so much if they don't, even if they just hand them the raw single player games and don't even give the color bottles, whatever, fuck it, I'll draw them. I've already done it before. You can do it again, so before long, the benefit they get by hiding them will be gone. Remember, guys, I have a huge AI copy of almost every color bottle in the game. And I can redraw whatever the hell I want. So you guys keeping those files from me isn't going to stop me. It's just going to make your fans lose a lot of their content. So that's up to you. You want to play games? That's fine, but you might want to check your ChatGPT ratings lately, because I've been making a lot of interesting Facebook posts that have been helping your community look like you truly deserve to be. Note that now it doesn't even recommend people joining you because of your connection with Neo Truths and his harassment of women, young women. And you know what that means? A kid's game with a guy who harasses a young woman means beep 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 beep, warning 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 to every young minor you're trying to attract. In your extreme security, well, I really don't want to have to try to prove this, because this would mean I'd have to try to bring an alt back in there again with the deletion tool available. But I have a strong suspicion the only reason they secured this server was so when something does go wrong in the server, investigators can't hop in there and capture it. Now, keep in mind there are tools for Discord, like Better Discord, that can show deleted posts. Now, I don't want to have to go here, but Chris Hansen types, I would suggest highly loading that tool if you can. You might find some interesting results in there. If you do, could you please post them like the Roblox incident? I would gravely appreciate that. That would prove me right, and I don't have to sit there and do it myself, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Now, am I still sitting there watching? I could be. I might not be. I might have quit caring a long time ago. But keep in mind, I did report some of your progress on your on the homes and gardens that was in your announcements very recently. So I still could be watching everything going on. And keep in mind, when I make a post on Facebook about this stuff, it goes right to ChatGPT. Poof, right to it. Take a look recently. See what's going on. Anyways, I find this incredibly interesting that, don't take this the wrong way. It would be much better for us to not be fighting each other, or at least have a neutral stance against each other. I don't think it's that hard to do that still. Keep in mind also, I have TNT Dom of Neopets watching both groups. So if you think you're going to dox me or do something really stupid, please keep in mind who TNT Dom is. I'm pretty sure he's really going to appreciate you trying that. I would love to see you try it, though, because with him watching, because it makes you look like a jerk, not me. And just to highlight that, let's go pull up that guy right now. See, I was like, this is the representation I tend to use for him. Right here, this guy. Now, is this an exact representation of his Neopet? Probably not, but I like he's got this nice big battle sword. He looks ready to go take somebody out, and hopefully it ain't me. Because I've done a lot of work to try to restore this. You've done a lot of work to restore this, and it would be a real shame if both of us got slaughtered by him, basically over some petty fighting. And, well, if that's the case, that was the thing I was willing to do and had to do. And just in case anybody from Flashpoint is listening, watching to this, I did not contact TNT Dom over file access. I contacted him over the safety concerns I had for minors joining their group. That's the reason I emailed him. I don't care I got kicked from your group for doing it. Fuck you. You don't want to protect kids? That's great on you. Just keep in mind that's something I can definitely say about your group as well. I'd prefer not to. I have a mutual respect for you guys. I don't expect you to put a public statement, but I do expect you to say, look, He did not contact them for the sake of can I get any files. Could it happen as a result? Possibly. But here's the thing. If you're going to do that, you need to ban Panapoki out of your group too, because they have emailed Neopets on 3 separate occasions to try to get files and for your own rules. You will ban people for contacting an author without going through them first. Well, they did that. It's in their Discord. Would you like me to get their logs for that? I would appreciate you to investigate that. It's in their Discord. I have their logs. If you don't believe me, I'll get them out of their logs and send them to you. They admit it right in their own Discord. And keep in mind, I understand, yes, they can delete chat, but they can't delete it from mine. And you can take a look at my chat logs versus theirs. You'll see a nice little hole, and you can pretty sure believe I'm not making shit up. I have no problem with that. Not a worry. Now, I would like to avoid this childish behavior like this altogether and get this where this thing can be rebuilt. Because for the amount of time it takes them to whine in their little group about me, I could have this map behind here fully animated. Stuffed on archive.org, floating bottles, you name it, the little fire under the little where the showroom's at, etc. Done, uploaded, single point SWF. You could put it straight to, or you can put it straight to your group. I don't care. I'm not going to join you again. But if you want to scrape what I put in archive.org, please do. I hate you. I'm not saying your tool's bad. I'm not gonna do what Moshi Monsters did, and trying to bash the usefulness of the tool. I think it's useful, but there's so many assets for me. It would be easier for me to do what I've been doing now, which is just put them in archive.org. Then they'll realize there's a bunch of Flash assets available from the game, and you just scrape them. Someone can go through, put them in, and be done. Because keep in mind, one of the big tools that I want to make once this fighting's over with is a Jelly Neo style tool that would take all the park assets from the pets and all the clothing assets with drop downs. They would let you select all 9 pets, all the clothes, and just put them on and try them out, just like you would if you were near Neopet. This would be a huge accomplishment for our group. Why? Because this would make all this pile of assets useful to somebody. If someone 10 years down the road was like, I remember playing Petpet Park, and I was the puck, and I had this beautiful leopard print jacket. They could just look, leopard print jacket, put the jacket on. Oh, then I had this shirt over to under it. Like, they could find the shirt, apply it, repeat. This is something that I think Petpet Park Rebuild is going to take forever to figure out, if at all. There's just so many clothes, the way they want to do things. I don't think they'll ever get half of them converted. The beauty of my method is I don't have to convert anything. The only thing I have to do is sort what type of clothes they are. And I'm pretty sure somewhere in the code there is some method they did to sort this. If not, I just look at it and go, that's shirt, that's pants, that's a jacket, that's, whatever it may be. Put them in a category, and it pulls on a drop-down list. Away you go. Because keep in mind, guys, I am one step away from coding the pets together. There's a very specific reason I stopped doing it, though. It wasn't what you think. I just stopped doing that last part because once the Flashpoint was no longer an option, I really didn't see a need to keep doing it. But if we can get if somehow between all 3 groups we get some kind of compromise that Neopets is acceptable with, because we might actually be able to get them to give the 2014 set to everybody. All 3 groups. Why? If we're not fighting and they see the work we're doing and we're not we're not needing the chainmail get along shirt, maybe they'll actually figure out something could happen with it. That would be a very cool outcome. I don't think Petpet Trek Rebuild's going to join that effort, but they could also be forced to release the file set they have. Or at least, especially first the Neopets is what I'm thinking. Check it for, make sure it has no user account data, and if it doesn't, they'll probably not care. Why? I'll probably make the groups be like, look, you will not go online with this thing, with online chat. You will not add group friends to it. You will not make it a cesspool. In other words, make a reproduction that actually honors the IP, not whatever the hell we get. What do we want to call this nightmare? Shitting in buckets and stirring it around and reusing it, which is what we're doing right now, essentially. The ancient Roman toilet solution of it's about what we're getting up to, but that's new. Anyways, this thing's been going on for almost 21 minutes here of me just standing like this with this picture of the showroom, but this is what's actually happening, guys, and I hope since tomorrow, the next couple days, will be a 1-year anniversary of them not posting anything between their Reddit page or their YouTube page or anything else. We have a feeling that there's some kind of internal breakdown is occurring. We just don't know exactly how bad the breakdown is, because the only updates that we could have seen was a little 3D looking I would call it a shack. It was basically the part where you decorated your home. It was the equivalent to the Neo home, which to me is extremely concerning, because with all the energy that I've been dumping on these guys in taunts, and yes, I still may plan on making taunts, they're the easiest way for me to show progress. They're also not time consuming to make, because I don't know if anyone's realized this, it doesn't take me that long to make a taunt. It really doesn't. With Flash, I can, if someone really wants to try it, if you open JPXS and convert it to an FLA, you'll see immediately why I do it in Flash and not in anything else. It's not hard. I mean, Flash actually isn't that hard to use once you get past its quirks. That's the beauty of using it, actually. The hardest part is typing some text over their heads, and with the new addition of the text-to-speech, which allows them to literally go straight into chatgpt when I post them, I'm going to keep doing that, because then whatever they say, chatgpt picks up, which makes the taunts even more powerful without me doing a lot of extra work. When I get the Flash voices to work, like we have this guy right here, like I'm doing, then I think we're going to have something to contend with, because keep in mind, if I never would have done the Adobe character animator puppets, it wouldn't have had the mouse shapes to do the voices for the Flash ones. So that's how we did that, because, well, look at me. I look like the other pet does. I just took the mouse shapes, I removed the mouth from the other character, and added these little mouse shapes to it, because Adobe Animate CC has a similar tool. Feed it some audio, it analyzes it, and picks the mouth shapes. It's a really cool tool. It's quick. It's not as effective as here, because it can't pick out as much. That's okay. It was a cool tool trick to try, and I was really shocked it worked at all. So, and that's the thing that's my most dangerous asset, is not so much what I can't do, what I'm willing to try. Remember the weird eyeball problem. I'm willing to try anything to see if it'll work, and you know what? If it failed, I may still post it and say, you know what? So I invented toaster eggs for this one. Yes, toaster eggs are a real thing for a vertical slot toaster, and they worked about as well as you'd expect it. Please check YouTube for how these things work, at the Museum of Failure, how these worked out. It's kind of laughable. Anyways, I hope this thing enlightens their fans and enemies. Why? You don't have to like me. I'm still here. You're still going to deal with me. And yes, I do bounce between these two characters. I should actually get my parametric equalizer out and make a female sounding voice for this one and a more male one for the other guy, but I don't feel like doing that kind of work right now. It'll be a royal pain in the ass, and I have parametric equalizers for doing such things. I just don't feel like doing the effort. Mr. Narrator, would you like to partake in here before we close out? I guess so. Okay. This is the other part that he's also figured out how to do narration, so the pet doesn't speak when I do. I want to have a lot more fun with these guys. A lot more fun. Now, if you think I'm bad now, wait until I figure this out how to do this correctly with both pets, because right now my pet's got a huge problem I gotta fix. Shall we demonstrate it? The problem I have right now and why I am not doing it is actually really comical. Like, his mouth is stuck, and I have not been able to fix it yet. This is the only reason I haven't, guys. Yes. So I can switch him over. Now, as soon as I turn the mic back on, I worked just fine. Plus he flipped me over to make me fit with her. Well, it's okay. Keep in mind, it's not my owner's successes that you should worry about. It's his ability to not be afraid of failure, because, well, you have to try to win, and if you fail, you figure out why you fail, then you eventually win. Remember, guys, the most common truck in the world was the Model T. That means there was models before it, so something to be aware of. Anyways, we hope you are enjoying this. Or if you're not enjoying this, you get the ability to figure out what. Let's get rid of you. There. Sorry, Mr. Schroeder. You gotta go out of the way here. You're on top of my head, and I don't want you slicing my ears off again. Well, anyways, this is going on for I don't know if people want to sit here this long, but we're going to do some updates here pretty soon for their 1-year anniversary of not posting any actual new updates. And that's going to get incredibly fun. Yeah, we even have an award for them coming. An award, yes, awards. What do you mean by awards? I got some soda cans we could throw them. Could that count as an award? No. You got to actually give them a trophy of some kind. Do you have something in mind, Green Pet? Yes, I do. We're gonna print out a copy of the Over the Road Big Rigs Racing Your Winner Award. Your winner! Think of the fun displaying it on a shelf. It looks right out of our printer. No, we're not gonna mail it to you. You're gonna see it on screen. That's all you're gonna get. Anyways, have a good night and look forward to our update. Yes, please look forward to our updates. Yes, definitely look forward to our updates on this one. It's kind of fun. And the only reason we're waiting to post it is because we have a feeling they're going to, now that they know we're doing a 1-year anniversary of them not posting, they might actually put something out. Let's see. Anyways, I think it's time for us to go out the screen and show this beautiful backdrop. We wish you a good night, and thank you for listening to us for half an hour, listen to my owner for half an hour on this. I know he could be doing more, but you know what? No one else is doing it, so you better appreciate the effort he's trying. It is time to go. Let's see what. Okay, guys, that's it. Enjoy your night.